Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Gentleman Care Podcast 216. You already know how we start. Let's start off by thanking God for all He has done for me and what He will continue to do for me, but not only me, my family, my friends, and those who I don't even know. What's good? Happy Monday. It's a day that should be celebrated because many people out there haven't made it to Monday. So for those of you who get the opportunity to listen to this, that means that you still have purpose, that God isn't done with you yet. That should mean something. But y'all know how we start. We start with a verse of the day, and it comes from Psalms, verses 46, chapter 10. He says, "Be still and know that I am God, and I will be executed, exulated among nations." Take a minute, think about it, see what that means to you. I'm gonna read it again. In Psalms, verses 46, chapter 10, it says, "Be still and know that I am God, and I will be exulated amongst nations." What I get from that is a lot of times we go through things and we need to just be still and know that God is there. That's what I get from it. Like, be still and know that I'm God. If you're going through something, be still. God is there. He is there. Like, be still. The other part, I'm not too sure about, so I don't want to get into that part. But the first section where it says that, that's what I believe with what he's saying. So, the title of this episode is going to be Friends or Friend. Because many of us, we have either a friend or we have multiple, so we can say friends. So let's look at the definition of friend. A person whom one knows and with whom one has a bond, excuse me, of a mutual affection. That's what the dictionary says a friend is. Before I get into it, I'm going to give you my definition of a friend. Someone that you can confide in, someone that you can share your most darkest secrets with, someone that will always be available to you in times of need, or sometimes just to lend the ear, just to talk, you know. Because sometimes when you're a friend, somebody doesn't need there's someone just needs somebody. If it was your friend, they just need you someone to talk to or someone to listen. That's a true friend. A true friend, if you had a party or something or an event that was special to you, they show up. They don't say they're gonna show up and then last minute they don't show up. Like, that's not what friends do. We get, sometimes unforeseen circumstances happen, but for the most part, if somebody is really your friend, they show up for you and they be there. Someone that will call you out on your shit. Excuse my language. Like, they will call you out on your shit if you're right or wrong. They're not gonna back you. They're gonna tell you. They're not afraid to tell you you're wrong. You might not agree, but just because I'm your friend doesn't mean that I always have to agree with you. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. That's what a real friend does. Like, they don't walk on eggshells because they're afraid of what you might think of them. They tell you, this is how it is. You might not agree with me. You might not even want to hear what I got to say, but this is what it is. And then they call you back and say, hey, you right. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably thinking, like, you know a lot about a friend. I've been around people. I've seen people display good friendships around me. So, I got my idea of what a friend is, and I've always been told if in order to be a friend, in order to make a friend, you got to be a friend first, right? So, you know what we do. Uh, Tell you a little bit of my experience of it. If I'm being quite frank and honest with y'all, transparent, I don't have many friends. Yeah, I said it. I don't. The only friends that I got, truly friends that I can trust, is my wife and God. That's about it. I mean, I know people, I associate with people, but it's really hard to trust people because a lot of people don't get your best at heart. They really don't. They might betray or give you the illusion that they're your friend, but given an opportunity, they'll probably stab you in the back, and that's not cool. And I I think that I would make a good friend, and I really try to put myself out there. You know, like I'll give you an example. It was a person. I was he had a wife. I got a wife. We were married. I figured, you know, I could we could be friends. So I got his number. Reached out to him a couple of times. He came over to my house. I met his family. He met my family. We talked sports because I know, he likes sports. I like sports. You know, I felt like we was vibing. I got his number. We would text um, occasionally, but I do know that he worked a busy schedule. But I'm a firm believer that people make time for what they want to do. Like I know you're busy, but there's no excuse that you're busy 24 hours in a day. Okay, people make time to do what they want. So again, I always put myself out there, try to be a friend. I say, hey man, let's do lunch. Well, let's go back from the beginning. So at first we had something set up, but I had forgot that day that I set it up that I was leaving for Atlanta. So that was my fault. I had to apologize because the same day I'm like, and my wife was like, you're leaving for Atlanta for the men's conference. So that was my fault. So we didn't end up getting together. And I had to, I want to apologize for that. I was wrong. I got the days mixed up, right? So after that, set up something with him. We supposed to go to this restaurant. It's called First Watch. So I'm like, cool. Hit him up Wednesdays. I think his days off for Wednesdays. So the day of the day that we were supposed to go to breakfast, I texted him, I called him, no answer. So I'm like kind of mad because I'm like, dang, like what happened? And he said I forgot. So I was mad, but I didn't do well on it or whatever. But we still text, occasionally. And I'm not saying that we may or may not cross paths again, but I can honestly say that I was trying, you know, by texting, by calling. Sometimes he wouldn't even text me back, but that's here or there. Can't do well on that, but I was really trying to be his friend. Uh, Other than that, I did have a childhood friend, and we were friends for a long time. I knew his mom, he knew my grandmother. He spent the night at my house. I spent the night at his house, and this is when I was a kid. But over the years, we just, kind of like grew up and like just grew apart, I guess. But it was mutual. He moved to when we were in like seventh grade. He ended up moving to like Youngstown, and then he would come up here occasionally, and we would still talk. And then over the years, we just lost touch. But he was good. He was a good guy. His name was Michael. His name isn't Michael, not was, but his name is Michael. He was a good guy. But other than that, uh, I just don't have, friends. I mean, I don't know what it is. I think that, I have prayed about this like a while ago, and I just, asked God to bring the right people in my life, you know, to be my friend. I can't get mad about it. Um, Sometimes, I envy other people's relationship with their friends, but not in like a bad way. But like, I be like, you know what, man? Like, I want that. Like, I really want that. Um, like my wife, she has a close friend. Like they jig with each other. Like that's considered like her best friend. Like I admire that. You know, hopefully one day when the time is right, I'll be blessed to have a relationship similar to that or possibly better, who knows. Um, but God knows my heart, you know. But it's challenging, you know. But just a couple of days ago, I met up. Well, I not met up, but we like ran into each other, an old childhood friend. And tomorrow we're supposed to be going to the gym and we're supposed to be working out. So I'm hoping that works out. But his name was he was a friend when I was little, but we'll see. But a lot of people to me are just associates, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just to hear me here. Like sometimes you associate with people, and that's the only extent of your relationship, and that's it. Um, so I'm not mad, but in time, things will, will get better. But if y'all got a friend out there and y'all probably, fell out for whatever reason, try your best to make amends with that situation. It might be hard, and I know some people don't like don't like always being a bigger person, and I get it. I totally get it. I can't say I understand, but I get it to a certain extent. But if you can mend a friendship, do it. Because God forbid if something was to happen to them, just think about how you would feel. You know, true friends are really hard to come by. So if you have a friend out there, call them, meet up, go out, have fun, you know, relish those moments rather than I ain't talking to them no more and stuff like that. And then for those of you who don't have friends that, close friends, just prepare yourself when the time is right to be a good friend. And that's cool too. Like that's what I'm doing. Like I'm preparing myself to when the time is right, I'm gonna either like I'm gonna be a good friend. I'm gonna be a good friend. And that's cool too. But just know that just because you don't have friends, that don't make you a loner, that don't make you no type of way. It's just the right people haven't come into your life just yet. And that's okay. Like it used to bother me, if I'm being honest, it used to bother me. Like I remember I was in the mall, I was talking to these people that I knew, and I was like, man, it's crazy. I'm like, I ain't got no friends. And it was like, you're an adult. You ain't supposed to have no friends. You only supposed to have friends when you're a child, which I didn't agree with, but I haven't talked. I'm thinking like, I just would think at that time I was thinking like I wanted to have more friends. And it was just like, dang, and it kind of bothered me, whatever. So, and then I had this experience, and like, I don't know if nobody can relate to this. Okay, so say if you would your significant other, or you might know somebody and they might have a close friend, and they are friends, like, and you know, trying to be a friend too, like in a respectful way, is that is that a problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I'll give you an example. Like I remember this one time I was dating this girl and she had a friend, very close friend and stuff. And she was real cool. She always came over, always spoke to her, gave her the utmost respect and everything. So, like I would like she gave me her number, we exchanged numbers or whatever, and then like sometimes like I would like text her respectfully, not the ordinary, because I always want to be respectful to my woman and stuff. So like I would text her or something like that. So I remember one time she had got mad. Um, she had got mad about something. I vaguely remember what it was, but she wasn't talking to her, so she didn't want me to talk to her. But at that time, I'm like, we created a friendship. We created a friendship, like you know, like distant, but like you know. And she said, "Well, if I'm not talking to her, then you shouldn't be talking to her." So I was like in the middle of it, so I'm like, dang, that's kind of wrong. But I was just like, all right, cool. I still, um, I still snuck and talked to her, because I was in an awkward situation, But I was just truly just trying to be a friend. Um, that's it. And like a lot of times, like some people don't like that. Like I've even tried to be like even just recently, like I've even tried to be friends with like um like my wife has a friend, she has a significant other, and I was even trying to be friends with them, like on a respectful level, like whatever. But I guess they like from like the old school, so they don't believe in like contacting each other's spouses and stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, like no disrespect, like that's the last thing that I want to do. I would just just trying to be like a friend, but a lot of times it can be misconstrued, So I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, that's okay. I'm like, I didn't mean nothing by it. Her husband didn't have a problem with it. I talked to him. It was just more or less her. She had a problem with it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not mad, but in that situation, when I'm trying to convey is, I was just legitimately just trying to make a friend. Um, that's it. That's what I was trying to do. But again, the right people will always come inside your. The right people will always come inside your life. Like I'm not mad at that individual. We still cordial. I still see her. I still speak to her. Give her the utmost respect. I just always want to respect how people feel, even if I don't agree with it. And that's what we gotta understand. We might not agree with something, but we just gotta respect it. We gotta respect the individual and just move on. That's it, and that's okay. And I just gotta realize that the right time, the right moment, it's gonna be okay. But I'll be lying to tell you if it ain't challenging. Like like my wife, her friend, they kick it, like they kicks it. You know what I'm saying? Like they have fun, like they go like to like sipping paints, girls with just all different types of stuff. And that's what's like that's good. Like I want that. You know what I'm saying? Like to be like, all right, me and anybody get together, we about to do this, yada yada yada. Like, all right, cool, have fun. Like I want that. But with the same token, I just have to trust you. Like I said before in the beginning, like I have to trust you in order for you to be my friend. Because a lot of people have smiling faces with hidden agendas, just try to get close to you, try to hurt you. It just, to a certain extent, it's just hard for me to trust, a lot of people. But I'm willing to give it a shot or a try, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But some people out there, they've been through a lot of different stuff, not and it's hard for them to trust people. So that's why they don't want to be bothered with people. But um, it's gonna be okay. It's hope. There's hope out there. I just think, like I said, it's hope, and just know that. I want to leave y'all with this: we all are put in situations where um we all are put in situations where it's difficult to trust people. because how people have done us in the past. So when the opportunity presents itself, our mind takes us back to that negative experience. So just because I'm just saying this because just because you have a negative experience doesn't mean that every time somebody comes into your life that it's going to be another negative experience, you know. And that's why some people don't got friends. They have friends before. Um, they mistreated them. They hurt them. They stabbed them in the back. I don't know. Maybe they slept with their husband. Whatever circumstances was. So it's hard. So I just want y'all to know that it's okay. You can't. Don't base everything on that one experience. It's gonna be okay. Just know that. Like, just keep praying and just know that. And I'm really trying to get. I'm really trying to get involved with my listeners. So if y'all listening to this, reach out to me. I'm on Instagram, Keelan_kid, Keelan and Darius Kid on Facebook. Message me on here. Um, yeah, like I want to vibe with y'all. Like I want to know, like your experience. Have you had any close friends, or what's your experience been like? How many friends y'all got? Let me know, cause I want to know, like, cause probably most of y'all out there got multiple friends, and that's good. I want to hear your experience, and we can conversate with each other like that. I think that'll be good. All right. Excuse the background. It's my kids. So thank y'all for listening to the Gym with Kid podcast 216, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.